If you're like me and enjoy getting away from the daily grind, you ought to be budgeting for travel. Too often, people don't plan the payment nearly as much as they plan the actual trip. I'm Mitchell Hockenbury, and I'm going to explain how to plan out your travel budget and where to place your funds. Picking your vacation spot for the year, that's a lot of fun. You get to dream up of a place that you've always wanted to visit, and then you get to investigate all the must-see attractions. Most people spend hours and hours planning for their perfect trip, but they fail to plan out the method of payment. The result is to bust their budget, and they end up having to pay off on this credit card for a few months after the trip already ended. I'm going to give you some easy to remember guidelines, as well as tell you where you should stash your cash when it comes to budgeting for vacation. Okay, most people, they have a good idea of the amount of money necessary to meet the cost of vacation if it's a place they frequent. So for example, if you travel to visit family each year for one of the holidays, you most likely know how much you're going to spend, plus or minus a few bucks. If this is the case, it's quite simple to take that cost, divide it by 12. Then you simply save the amount of money as a monthly expense. But what if you're traveling someplace new? That's where we get to my little tips here for you. I think in terms of the following: transportation, lodging, meals, experiences, memorabilia. Now your job is to find out the cost of each of those 5 categories. I begin with figuring out the airfare or the driving costs. Now this is easily done through Google Flights or Google Maps. If you fly, multiply the average airfare, not the lowest, by the number of traveling. So if there's 3 of you in your family, 3 times that average cost. Next, I look into the average nightly rates for hotels that you generally stay in. Budget motels, hotels, or the uniqueness of an Airbnb. The experiences category is where I put the cost of tickets to attractions like Disney World or a chartered boat museum or museum costs. This is a category I find to be really fun, and I get to fill it in while I investigate. Next come the meals. You need to determine your average meal costs. You may plan for one splurge dinner or every dinner you're going to splurge. Lastly, make a predetermined amount of money you can buy on trinkets, t-shirts, or whatever. Add all the categories up, divide by 12. This is the monthly amount to save. By doing it this way, you're planning ahead of time what you will spend, and it helps to limit the problems one encounters when you begin to feel the pain each time you swipe that credit card. That can easily cause you to just give up and overspend. Another method that my family uses is to set a predetermined amount of money each year. I budget $2,500 each year for vacation. Then I simply have to do the work to make it work. So wherever we're gonna go, I gotta make it work on $2,500. And it's actually quite fun to work the numbers into those 5 categories I already mentioned. And it makes it really easy to know how much to save. Now, where do you put that money? That's easy. Savings or money market accounts. I have one account that only money for vacations is used. No commingling of these accounts. Then, when I spend money on airfare, which I purchase months in advance, I can pull it out of that savings account and then just pay off that credit card. It is clean, it is simple, and it keeps me from overspending. If you haven't watched my video, How to Budget, please do so next. And then thanks for watching this video, but be sure to visit personalfinancemadeclear.com and I'll give you some additional resources. And then lastly, please do subscribe now to the Personal Finance Made Clear YouTube channel.